What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host, once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, it's Lions Talk Live. It is Tuesday. It is the official cut down, move on down, forward down the line, whatever you want to say, to the start of the NFL season for this team. And yes, we all get it. The team gets back on the field in earnest today. Yesterday, a lot of the players returned, all the players returned, and the coaches. They kind of went through a little walkthrough, very light stuff. Today, though, they're going to get after it, and they're going to get after it real. So expect from today forward, you've got the season here. You might get 2 or 3 different shows a day, just as we get different updates. Today will probably be the real last slow news day that we have for the Detroit Lions, or I guess you'd say yesterday leading into today would be the last of the slow days until we get to the bye week when you have another several sets of days off. Lions have been off for a few days, letting guys get rest up. If you didn't know, the Lions and the Chargers, hey, they've been at this about an extra 2 weeks over everybody else in the NFL because they had the Hall of Fame game, so they got to get in a little bit earlier. You know, we're going to go through 5 headlines now. You're going to have, as you can probably tell for the main thumbnail for this video, hey, if Kash now isn't giving you tons of tells in the last 4 or 5 days about Zadarius Smith, you know what? Maybe she's totally oblivious to social media. We'll dive into that during the main top of the day. We're going to talk about the 5 headlines now. We're going to start talking about this, Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions matchup. Yes, the rest of this week, that's all we're focusing on is that matchup, unless we have some real huge breaking news. But before we get into all those things mentioned, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so or making that march for 14,400 subs. We need 8 more to get there, and then obviously the march is on for 14,500. So if you got it in yet, you're willing to help the channel out, pretty pleased with Mountain Dew on top, consider hitting that thumbs up button, that subscribe button. Also, while you're hitting the subscribe button, don't forget to hit the like button, the thumbs up button, etc. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 more thumbs up or likes. If you can assist with that, I surely would be most thankful. Last but never least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan where I reside, let alone the continental United States, you want somebody who's not going to do you dirty. You want somebody who's going to watch your back, make sure nobody overcharges you, whether it be the lender, the title company, I don't know, whoever else maybe you're borrowing money from, maybe the mob for some of you guys. Then go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. I handle commercial properties, regular homes, vacant land, anything property-wise in the state of Michigan, I can assist you with. If it's outside Michigan, I got to do things a little bit differently. But yeah, I enjoy what I do, and I think I do a fairly decent job with it. All right, with all that done, out of the way, let's get this show rocking and rolling and going, and let's kick it off with 5 headlines now. We have a few interesting headlines today for you guys, so I kind of enjoy this one. All right, 2025 NFL prediction, the Detroit Lions Defensive Player of the Year. This is Yahoo Sports. Yahoo Sports has about roughly an 8-person panel. They went through this with each of the NFL teams. Who do they think is going to be that team's defensive player? I'm sure it's not a shock to most of you, if not all of you, that Aiden Hutchinson's name pops up on here a whole lot. Out of the 8-person panel, you know what? 7 of these were Aiden Hutchinson. 6 of these were Aiden Hutchinson. The other 2 people mentioned were Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. Going through this list, big shocks? No. Aiden Hutchinson, we've been hearing about it. We've been talking about it from everybody who watches this team practice. Everybody watches this team go through joint practices. He's being a monster out there. We thought we were seeing a generational performance last year before he went down in Dallas with a broken leg, and you were. You look at the metrics, you look at what he was doing to the other teams. He was just having probably the best defensive end season I have seen since Robert Porcher, and that is going back to the 90s. Porcher, for those maybe too young or don't remember him or whatever the case may be, he had about a 3 to 4 year span. He got on that field, it was going to be at least one sack every game. He was the unstoppable object. Well, talking about unstoppable objects, it looks like Hutch, he wants to prove that, yes, he is going to be the main man for the Detroit Lions and maybe even the main man in the entire NFL. There's a whole lot of expectations really starting to bubble with Hutch, and that's just not in Detroit media. It's in the NFL community. Everybody's talking about what he's been doing in camp. Yeah, you got to see it happen in games that count, not just, the Pajama Olympics. But you know what, going in, I think most people are going to say that, Aiden Hutchinson might be on a record pace this year. Kirby Joseph, you guys get it. He was the biggest ball hawk in the NFL last year. Because of that, you did have Max Gerber of Yahoo Sports being one of the people selecting him. He was actually the only person who selected Kirby Joseph. And they do also kind of point out in the new system that where many are anticipating from Kelvin Shepard for the defense. You know what? Kirby might actually just be highlighted more this year. Keep that in mind when we're talking about people getting highlighted, because Matthew Ryan's, also of Yahoo Sports, went in depth and talked about he thinks Brian Branch could be setting up for an MVP season. Now, in his opinion, the Lions are going to use a whole lot of 7 package. That means a 7 personnel package when it comes to secondary people. You're going to have 7 people from the secondary out there a whole lot. He foresees that Brian Branch at times could be used as a middle linebacker, a blitzing safety, a blitzing corner, a blitzing linebacker. He thinks Brian Branch is the most complete player in the NFL and that he can play virtually any spot outside of a defensive lineman. And you know what? That got me thinking about it. Brian Branch probably really can. Last year, and to be fair, the year before, did you see him play both safety spots? That answer is yes. Did you see him play corner? That answer is yes. Did you see him play linebacker, off the ball linebacker? That answer is yes. So would it really be a stretch to say he can play the Sam, the middle, wherever you want to put him outside the defensive line? I think that's true. Brian Branch is just that rare. He's that powerful, that athletic. He can cover. He can hit. There's not a whole lot Brian Branch really can't do unless you start getting into the physical aspects. Is he going to go out there and try to get past offensive linemen on the regular, being a down lineman? Probably not. But I do think Matthew Ryans might be onto something real sneaky here. We're going to have to wait to see what Shep has in store for Brian Branch during the season. And you guys know during the offseason, we had tons of stories, or at least a few stories, that maybe you could trade Brian Branch and some other stuff for Trey Hendrickson or Micah Parsons or whoever else. Do I think that could ever happen? No. And I think Matthew Ryan's report here on Brian Branch, I think it's pretty spot on. I think we're going to see him used even more this year. All right, went on too long with that headline. Let's go to the next one. Detroit Lions announce 2025 season captains. You know what? We even got something for the Duke crew today. We've got graphics. So anyways, hey, there's your captains for the upcoming season. You can see it on the screen. We're going to go left to right, back row, Penei Sewell, Jared Goff, Aiden Hutchinson. Not any real surprises there. Front row, Alex Anzalone, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And this one may be a little bit of surprise, Grant Stewart. Stewart, you guys understand he was a free agent acquisition by the team this year. He's returning punts. He's doing kickoffs. He's just doing everything out there other than, on top of, I should say, being just one of the biggest, most athletic coverage linebackers we've seen. His ability to go sideline to sideline obviously shows up on tape when you have a linebacker returning kickoffs. What we're going to get from him, I don't know. But we're just talking about Brian Branch being used in different ways by Shep. I won't be surprised at all if Grant Stewart, if we do play 3-4, is out there a whole lot. Because you think about, in that scenario, probably Derek Barnes, and if we play in a 3-4, Derek Barnes and Aiden Hutchinson, they're probably your outside backers. Now, who's going inside? Well, Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, but could you rotate in Grant Stewart? Could he rotate in Cunningham? This is something I think we're going to be talking about a whole lot during the regular season. All right, going on to I got to get this off the screen. Going on to the next of the 5 glorious headlines now. We're going to spend a little time on this one, but we're starting to get ready for the regular season kickoff. You know what you're going to start having more and more of? Power rankings. NFL Power Rankings Week 1. Which 5 teams could win the Super Bowl 60 for the win with this one? I'm not going to put this on the screen, so sorry about that. It'd just be spending too much time on it. But let's walk through it real quick. Let me move this around on the screen. All right, the team with the least likely, number 32, Cleveland Browns. We're just going to kind of power through this. Tennessee Titans at 31, New Orleans Saints 30, Indianapolis Colts 29, New York Football Jets, Aaron Glenn's home is 28, Jacksonville Jaguars 27, the Miami Dolphins 26, New York Giants. I was surprised. They've got the Giants at 25 and the Dolphins at 26. Hey, that's how it goes, though. Pittsburgh Steelers are 24. New England Patriots 23. Carolina Panthers. That's right. Maybe we'll see Hendon Hooker go out on the field for him. 22. Las Vegas Raiders 21. Seattle Seahawks 20. Dallas Cowboys 19. The Chicago Bears are at number 18. Arizona Cardinals 17. Atlanta Falcons 16. 49ers 15. Houston Texans 14, Cincinnati Bengals 13, Los Angeles Chargers 12, Minnesota Vikings 11. Let that sink in. They got the Vikings as a top 11 team. Tampa Bay Bucks 10, Los Angeles Rams 9, Green Bay Football Packers are number 8, Denver Broncos 7, Washington Commanders number 6, and then your Detroit Lions number 5. They think, hey, I'll just go through this quickly because most of it you guys have already heard for months now. They think the Lions, the loss of the coordinators, that's going to take some time to get, everybody on the same page. I've offered my thoughts on that yesterday. I don't think it's going to be much of a deal at all. No different than anybody else just kind of breaking in the season. I can only base this on my decades of coaching, but if those players aren't after 5 or 6 weeks, 99% on tune with what that coordinator wants to do, that coordinator needs to get the boot because they have not done their job. And I don't mean just in football. I mean in any sports. If you haven't prepped them by now, how much is it really going to change 3 or 4 weeks from now? Marginally, sure, but a ton, no. So I think that's really overblown. As far as the roster, it's really not a hugely different roster than it was a year ago. Let's not forget the Lions won 15 regular season games, even though they only played with special teams and on offense for 60% of the season. The defense, you guys get it. It wasn't out there the vast majority of the time, and it worked out for the Lions. All right, Kansas City Chiefs are number 4, Baltimore Ravens number 3, Buffalo Bills number 2, Philadelphia Eagles number 1, and there's your first, I guess you could say, official 32 team power football ranking. And yes, the Lions are one of the 5 teams predicted to challenge for the Super Bowl. All right, Lions post-training camp salary cap update. Story by Christian Boer of SI.com. We'll go through this. In fact, I think I even made a graphic for you guys. Let's see if I did. I did. Hey, who knew? Anyways, let's go through this. 5 highest cap hits for this upcoming year. Jared Goff, we'll just round up and say $33 million. Taylor Decker, can you believe that? He's up there at $23 million, rounding down. Amon-Ra St. Brown, we'll just say $14 million. DJ Reader, $13 million. Aiden Hutchinson, we'll just say $11 million. And yes, this doesn't include some of the new salary caps that will kick in after this year. Lions, if you didn't know, they're going to go through this season. They're going to try to roll over as much of the available cap from this year to next year. How much available cap do they have this year? We're going to round down slightly and just say $34 million. Lions have $34 million on the books this year to do with as they want. It's my personal opinion. Doesn't have to be your opinion. Maybe 32 of this, maybe 30 million gets rolled into next year to try to help them bring down some of the numbers of these extensions of the upcoming players. They do have some dead cap money. You see some of it on the screen, not all of it. Carlton Davis, we'll just say 10 million. Cam Sutton, $6.5 million. Frank the Tank Ragnow, we'll say $5 million. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, $3 million. Marcus Davenport, we'll just say $2 million. Tim Patrick, $1.2 million. Hendon Hooker, $400,000. Jacoby Keane James. I mean, you guys see the numbers on the screen. I don't have to walk through all of them. And yes, even though some of these guys are still a part of the team, now that they're on the practice squad, they still have dead cap numbers for the team to face. But with that also being said, you come to next year, I know everybody's saying, man, it's doom and gloom for the Detroit Lions. Your bills have finally come due. I'm going to, like I was just saying, I think about 30 million of this gets put into next year, bring those numbers down, and I will not be surprised at all if there are a few players, like maybe a Jared Goff, that restructure their contracts to bring down the numbers even more for the team. So pay attention to it. I think the Lions are smart enough to know how to handle this, and with a boost in the salary cap next year, I doubt if it's really going to be as big a deal as many of us are anticipating. All right, last of 5 headlines now. Lions face clear warning on Jared Goff ahead of the season. The heavy story by Nathan Doherty. I'm going to summarize this one real quick and easy. Protect Jared Goff. you're going to be okay this year. That's what the story's talking about. It's talking about the offensive line, some of the switches, changes. Most of these stories aren't new to anybody who's a Lions fan. You've been hearing them for months. I can only give you my opinion. What I see out of the tape, whether it be from joint practices or whatever, and yes, we're not really supposed to have tape on it, but you know what? Things get leaked out there. What I can tell you is watching those guys block, I think I think Ratledge is pretty dang good. Christian Mahogany, I'm not even going to waste time talking about it. What you saw in film, actual game film last year with him, it's all holding up. You watch this young dude. The fact that you got him for whatever it was, a 6th-round pick, and he missed the training camp, and he missed the first month of the season last year with mono, it's hard to believe that he slipped down this far. But then again, you could say, hey, Tom Brady was whatever, a 6th-round pick. 49ers quarterback was Mr. Irrelevant and all that stuff. It does happen. I get it. But just give a lot of thoughts and praise to this Lions regime. St. Brown, kind of a late-round pick. Ilya Malafano, when he was here, was a mid-round pick. Kirby Joseph was a 3rd-round pick. I mean, you guys get it. Lions hit on a ton of these. While this story is accurate, if you can't block for your quarterback, you can't block in the running game, you don't have a team. I just think we're going to be sneakily better than what a lot of people are anticipating on the offensive line. To me, I'm more worried about Graham Glasgow and Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker just, can he hold up physically? He is getting a little bit older. Graham Glasgow, it is a big concern of mine because what you did see out of him last year. If he's at all healthy last year, I do think we win the Washington Commanders game because I don't think we fumble on that 3rd and empty backfield one instead of running the ball. I think we do block. Yes, St. Brown fell down on the play, but I think Goff would be able to check down. He didn't have the time. He'd still blame Goff, but I think Glasgow, if he's healthy this year, if he performs well, the nice part with him being a center is if you need to block in to help him out with either of the younger guards, I think we're going to be okay. All right, I'm going to not babble on that anymore. Let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day. Is this something? Is this nothing? I'm going to let you guys, break it on down, give your thoughts, but let's get into the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day. I'm not here to tell you Zadarius Smith's going to be back. I'm not going to tell you he's not going to be back. I'm going to tell you, hey, Kash, his girlfriend, you guys know she's, upper echelon musician, rapper, what do you want to call it? She performs at a high level. She's got a gajillion people on her sideline, on her paychecks, getting paid to help her with social media content. So if she really doesn't know what she's doing here, well, I would say you probably want to fire all those people in charge of social media content. So let's just get into it. Kash Dow, a couple days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, was on Instagram doing an Instagram Live wearing a bunch of Zadarius Smith gear and, kind of promoting him in that fashion. Well, last night, or recently, I guess you'd say this weekend, she took to social media and had a concert. While she was giving the concert, well, you can see on the screen right there, Kash Dow is wearing, guess what? A number 99 Zadarius Smith jersey out there. Are these, happenstance? Is this a big deal? I'd say it's probably a big tell because she knows what she's doing. And again, I can only tell you if somebody who's worked in PR, been a reporter, all that stuff, none of this happens by mistake. None of this just happens by chance. So it's my guess. We've been talking about it all off season. Zadarius Smith, after the Green Bay Packers game, is probably returning to this Detroit Lions team. I know a few guys in the comment section. I don't even have to see the comments. I know you guys will be saying, well, hey, give me a percentage chance of him returning. I'd say after seeing both her live video and then the concert, I'd probably put it around 75% chance that he resigns the team. Unless he's asking for some sort of, unreasonable amount of money in that contract or guarantees or whatever. You look at the Lions, it would make a bunch of sense. Do you believe in some of those 3 guys that we signed last week to round out the 50 to 53-man roster? I think, they've got potential for sure, but you know what you have in Zadarius Smith. He can get pressure on the quarterback. Was one of the best ones in the NFL last year. Players at getting pressure on the quarterback. Is he the greatest at stopping the run? No. Is he terrible? Also a no. So I think you know what you got with him. If you're really in it to win it this year and you're not Brad Holmes, you're not going to, trade a gajillion draft picks to get somebody, then you know what? This is probably as smooth a move for the Detroit Lions as you can get. I personally would like to see him sign now so he can go out there and play against Green Bay. I just don't believe in potentially throwing away games. And no, I'm not saying the Lions are going to lose. You have to wait till later this week to get my official breakdown videos. But hey, starting tomorrow, you guys get it. Tomorrow's Wednesday. You know, practice has already gotten going for preparing for the Green Bay Packers. I'll start covering all of that. On a second note, though, going from Kash down, Zadarius Smith returning. If you're Jerry Jones right now, do you look like the smartest human in the NFL? Well, you may want to know if you didn't already know. This came out yesterday. Report. This is from ESPN, Yahoo Sports, and everybody in between. As Jen walks right behind me right now, live on air. So if you can't fully read this all, it's not a big deal. But Micah Parsons, I'll walk you through it. That's why it's not a big deal. He does apparently really have a back situation going on. They're talking about giving him the needle in his back between the L4 and L5 vertebrae. That's no small thing. So apparently he was saying, hey, I can't practice this preseason because of a back injury. Dude wasn't lying, apparently. Now the question becomes, and it comes down to who he listens to. Adam Schefter of ESPN says, hey, he might not be able to play Sunday. Then you got a couple other guys, across, NFL media saying they fully anticipate he'll play. He's going to take the shot and power through it. Here's my thought. It's a double move, or double bam here, I guess you'd say. If he takes the needle now, this early in the season, he goes out there and plays linebacker. I'm not going to say it's as violent as a defensive lineman or a running back, but it's up there. How many times is he going to get hits on that back that are going to matriculate those hits, that energy down to the spine? Yes, to the L5 and L4. And no, I'm a doctor. I'm not that kind of doctor, so I can't break it down for you. But I got to imagine early in the season, if you're dealing with that already, what's the realistic expectations that back issue is going to get worse during the season? I think it's pretty high. Why is Jerry Jones pretty smart? Think about what you just invested in Micah Parsons, the Green Bay Packers. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, so don't fry me if I'm a little bit off on them. But I want to say it was something like $150 million guaranteed, 180, something like 46 million on average a year for 4 years. And again, I don't have the numbers in front of me, so if they're a little off, please try to keep that in mind. If he's got some sort of bone issue going on with that spine, I feel for the young man. That's not fun for anybody. But let alone for an NFL linebacker being asked to go run as fast as you can and slam into something and get blocked all the time, get bent all the time. You know what? Getting 2 first-round picks and an NFL All-Pro player, Jerry Jones might have been pretty smart in getting it. We'll see how that shakes out, but you do want to pay attention to that. All right, Duke, what say you about Cash Money Dow's choice of, clothing? And then what do you have to say about this report from everybody out there in national media about Parsons? I do fully anticipate he's going to play Sunday. I do fully anticipate he's going to want to prove that, hey, I am one of the better defensive players in the NFL, and this back issue is not a big deal. The other part I would have from a question standpoint, and none of us here, you, me, and everybody else in between, we don't know the full extent of this injury, but how did he pass the trade physical if this is a situation? If it's at all a question mark, am I the Green Bay Packers where I'm so desperate to get him that I'm like, that back injury, that's probably not going to slow him down at all the rest of his career, let alone if it gets worse over time. All right, Duke Crew, let's see what you guys have to say about those topics and, maybe stuff in the 5 headlines now. Like I said, you get past today, it's probably 2-a-days for Lions Talk Live and probably every other content creator out there. So let's see what you guys have to say. All right, scrolling to the top of the screen. Give me a second, if you please. I'm still scrolling. I'm moving. And here we go at the top. Johnny L., good morning, folks. Back at you. Johnny, 5 days until the season starts. Yes, indeed, my friend. Boo. Good morning, Duke Crew. So lay your cash money down 100%. Woo! And apparently she's landed down on number 99. Big D, good morning, crew. And back at you. Johnny L., absolutely, Bo Booth. Trey, heard about this last night. She knows what she's doing. I would agree with that. After this, I'd bet some good cash money Z signs next week. I hope he signs this week. Although, that being said, you got 1, 2, 3. You got, today's practice, Thursday's practice, Friday's practice. Friday's practice is typically get more or less a walkthrough. It's Friday night. They're probably heading over to Green Bay. I guess they could leave Saturday. It's not exactly a long flight by any stretch of the imagination, but you guys get it. You more or less have 3 days of practice. Parsons, I do not know if the Green Bay Packers practice this weekend. I'm assuming they had it off, but if anybody wants to, go ahead and Google that, find out, throw it in the comment section, please do. But in regards to Parsons, if he did come in Friday night, they didn't practice this weekend. I'm assuming they didn't. I don't know. It means he also will only have a couple days to digest the defensive playbook for the Packers before getting on the field. Za'Darius, if you sign him today, maybe he gets in a couple days this week, but he's not going to be a big impact on this upcoming weekend. Just greetings and salutations, Duke Crew. So what did she do, Trey? And now you know it. No one's half the battle. Bo, you don't need a Heineken to just figure it out. But if you have $1, you won't lay your money down. Okay, won't lay your money down. I'm down with that, Bo. Still not worried that someone else has 99 now. Hopefully, Kash Doll wearing his jersey on stage actually means something. We'll find out. I mean, right now, you can only speculate. I just think, again, with the amount of ability to have people working for you, representation-wise, understanding social media, it probably didn't happen by happenstance, at least in my opinion, until let me know yours. Johnny L, I believe that Z will be back. I'm starting to believe it more and more, too. Al, okay, Coach, I've asked a few times about your percentage chance Big Z signs. Your last comment was about 30% chance. What's your percentage now? I'm going to give Kash Doll, and again, her representation, who's very smart about all this, I'm going to say it's about 75% chance. I've reversed my opinion quite a bit. We'll find out by this time next week. If he hasn't signed, he ain't signing. Well, my biggest question is he coming for pennies on the dollar? Probably accurate. Probably not going to get the payday he really wanted. Trey Jesslyn wore his jersey at the concert. That's just a few days ago after she did an Insta Live show wearing some more of his Lions gear in that. Okay. Johnny L, I'd say it's about 90 to 100%. I'll take that, 100%. Drake, he's coming back, but after the Green Bay game, I've been saying that for a while. Hey, you might be spot on with that there, Drake. Johnny L, come on, Big Z, get back here, 100%. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Sounds like Parsons might not be able to play, or at least already banged up with the back. Yeah, and then Bill Parcells, I know some of you won't know who that is. He's a Hall of Fame coach in the NFL during the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. He had a great line that I heard and always stuck with me throughout my coaching career. Once the tread starts coming off the tire, it doesn't ever come back. And he was talking about knee and back issues for players. And he's 100% right. In all the years I've coached, here's what I can say. All the surgeries in the world can fix something. They can make it better, but you'll never be 100% again. With a back situation like Parsons appears to be having, he's never going to be 100% again. No matter what he does, how many injections, it's only going to fall from there. But that's true anybody who plays in the NFL. You might come in at 100%. You might even maintain close to that for a while. But that wear and tear they put their bodies through, yeah, man, I feel from them. They earn every penny. Bo, Drake, I tend to agree with you. Johnny L, yes, you have. At Drake, France, I'm so ready for Sunday. Good morning, Duke Crew, and back at you. Bo, Stephanie, ain't that just rich? Exclamation point. JDC, morning. Oh, just sounds like today will be the team's first real get ready practice for Green Bay. What would you do today, Coach, if it were you? If it was me, it'd be all about blocking and stopping the run. So, offense, we're going to spend 90% practice just working on the blocking schemes. We want to keep our quarterback clean. We want to keep the running lanes as open as possible. You get that in any running game. I don't care if it's the 1930s or 2030s. You're going to see something effective in football. Now, on the defensive side, can you limit that? If you can stop the other team, make them one-dimensional, that's a big asset for any defense. I don't know MCDC's practice plans, but I'm just telling you my practice plans. You got to run, you got to stop the run. And that would be the bulk of the stuff. All right, Big Eddie, yesterday's press conference made it sound like we've been off for a few days. Was Green Bay up this weekend? That I don't know. We did get a couple days off. MCDC confirmed it. I get it. You just did 6 weeks straight. You give them about the 72-hour window, a reprieve, go out and do whatever you want. Now, Johnny L, I don't wish for anybody, but let's see, that would just stink for Green Bay if he keeps getting hurt. Yeah, and that back thing, the needle will help. It will take away the pain. You'll feel great for about 2 hours, 3 hours, etc., until it starts wearing off. The more you take it, though, the faster it wears off. The other part is if that's a really severe L5, L4 situation, he's going to start feeling it probably after the first quarter if he has to stop the run a lot, which guess what the Detroit Lions like to do? They like to run the ball. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. What a team! Exclamation point. What a podcast. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! And back at you, Henry. Johnny L, hello there, everybody. And same to you. Bo, Johnny L, I'm sure he's crying all the way to the bank. Might be accurate. Leonard, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, good to see you, Leonard. How was your weekend, my friend? I got to remember today's Tuesday. Susan, Red Parsons has a few vertebrae that might need work after the season. Yeah, what you can really do for it, not a whole lot. You can clean it up a little bit, but if you're going to play football, it's just going to come right back. And that's my comment about, hey, once the tread starts coming off the tires. Johnny, what do you got? Laughing out loud at Bo Booth. Carlos, oh, no more Zadarius Smith talk. Geez, tired of hearing about this dude like he's a TJ Watt 2.0. No, I get it, man. I get you what you're saying there, Carlos. Hey, we'll be all over Green Bay the rest of the week. Alec, I'm absolutely exhausted from the topic of Z Smith. You're not the only one, my friend. You are not the only one. Mike the Marine Gunny, howdy, Dan and Lions faithful Duke crew. Woo! Back at you. Johnny L, I want Z back. Hey, we'll go with that. Alan, nobody realized it, but Jerry Jones trading Parsons for draft picks is all a coup to use those picks to trade up and get Archie Manning in a couple of years. He didn't become a billionaire being stupid. No, I know I mentioned a couple of days ago the Netflix thing about the 90s Cowboys, but you see a lot of things that he did that nobody else was doing in the NFL at that time. He's helped change the NFL. Johnny L, good morning to you, Gunny. And Carlos, I wish Zadarius Smith, Zadarius signed somewhere here or wherever so he can move on. I've never seen a guy with 4 sacks per year average get so much hype for a 32-year-old. There's a whole lot of truth to what you just said, though, Carlos. A whole lot of truth. Xavier, greetings, salutations to Coach Dan and the Duke crew. Exclamation point. Hope you guys had a blessed day. Go Lions. Woo! And back at you, Dale. It's Green Bay week. Let's go Lions. Exclamation point. I expect a heavy dose of Sonic and Knuckles. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. Let's get after him. I'll see Alan. Carlos, good point. I concur. Johnny L, question mark. Carlos, well, what's the question? We have a huge game this week. We're still talking about Zadarius Smith. We are, amongst other topics today. How we do? Good morning, Duke crew. Man, oh man, that Kash sure is a doll. We need to get her a Duke crew jersey. Exclamation point. Let's see if we can. Johnny L, Thunder and Lightning, baby. Oh yeah, man bear. Well, greetings, salutations to all, and as always to you, my friend. Carlos, what did I say after Green Bay? We'll find out. Tori Apple, Green Bay is going to come at us with all they have. Their pass rush should now be one of the league's best. Yeah, I think they've got a pretty good pass rush. Can they stop the run as much? We'll find out. Xavier, is Zadarius Smith back? Question mark. No, we should be fine. All right. Dale, I'm too. JDC, Lambeau Field, home of the Lamers. Let's make it even lamer for them. Bo Hookadoo, exclamation point. She could afford to buy us a jersey. All a jersey. How about that? Hookadoo, the man, the myth, live in person, Mr. Grit himself, Johnny L. Johnny L, I don't remember what did you say, laughing out loud at Gary. Lionel, greetings, salutations, coach of the Duke Crew Worldwide, exclamation point. St. John Pod had an awesome segment with Panay Su. He talked about family and life outside of football. Really good. We'll check it out. Let's see, Coach Rock, good morning. All Hope Cash wearing his jersey is a tell. I would think so. Mary Smith, good morning, Duke Crew, and same to you, Mary. Hookadoo, that's so true, Bo. Johnny L, great morning to you, Hookadoo. Dale, I'm sure MCDC will have our guys fired up for Sunday. I agree with that, especially being opening week and in Green Bay. Green Bay is now a favorite to win the division. Bulletin board material for sure. 100%. It depends on who you're asking if they're a favorite to win, but some have put them up on front. We'll see. All right, JK, truffle butter, Cash made naturally by Z. Let's see, Xavier, the Lions have a lot of grit, exclamation point, and I agree with that fully. Rock, Hookadoo, and Johnny L bring the grit this morning. They're always bringing it, aren't they? 5 figures ready. I like our depth and D line better with Zadarius Smith. That might be accurate. Steve Rogers, bring back B. Martin. Ooh, we'll see if they do that. Hookadoo. Look who is here now. Mary Smith and her brother in grit, Rocky. Oh, yeah, I'll go with that. Man, Barrett cashed out is pretty, but I doubt she is the only reason Zadarius would stay with the Lions. No, I think he sees a good opportunity here if he resigns. Robert, greetings, and back at you. Jim, we have 53 with a score to settle and a talent to get it done. It starts Sunday by winning the first one. Hey, let's get the first one, then move on to the next one. Jessica, protect our quarterback, run the ball back well. We will be tough to beat this year. Yeah, if you can do those two things, you'll separate yourself from the pack real quick. See what I did there? Separate yourself from the pack. Jason, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. 129 hours and counting. We're counting them on down. Tick, tick, tick. Johnny L, with all this grit, I'm cooking some grit with salt and pepper, butter, and, of course, hot sauce. Hey, gotta love the hot sauce. Hookadoo. And my Duke Crew brothers, good morning, says Mary. Says along, Coach Dan, when is your breakdown video of the matchup coming? Oh, later this week. Yeah, I mean, the rest of this week, it's all going to be about the opening day of football for us, unless we have some real compelling breaking news topic. All right, Coach Rock, good morning, Mary Smith. Johnny L, good morning to you, Mary Smith. Mary Smith, not the hot sauce, Johnny. Man, how could you ever leave off hot sauce? Jennifer, I think after the Cheesehead game, we will know more about if Z comes back. Might be accurate. Hassan and Mally, good morning. Coach Dan and Duke Crew. And back at you. Hopefully you're having a good afternoon in Cairo. Alan can't believe Packers are favored in this game. Lions would beat them even if Kyle Allen played. Love is a mid-tier quarterback at best. Yeah, they're the home team, though. It's opening day. They're going to get a few more votes, I guess you could say, than some other teams. Bo, all 22 films spent about 45 minutes explaining why Goff is going to torch Green Bay. Hey, I'll have to check that out. Pierce, I am now in the camp. Big Z ain't coming back. All right, we'll take you out of the camp then. All right, Coach Rock, Coach, you always said the Lions may sign Z at the Green Bay game. We shall see. We will see, man. If they're going to do it, that would be, I think, at this point, the most ideal time frame to target. Now, it's my good morning, all, and back at you. I say, Manley, good morning to all my friends. Hey, and as always, glad to have you here. Final countdown. Let's go, Duke Crew. Good morning, and back at you. Big D. Woo! I concur. Coach Rock. Good morning, Miles Martin. Good to see you. Bo, good day, Medley. Exclamation point. Johnny L, good morning to you, Mr. Medley. JK Parsons says he'll be playing week 1 using his head. All right. King SJ, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. And as always, good to see you. Bill Ball, good morning, Lions Legion. How about that? Exclamation point. Sorry about that. And good to see you, Bill. Gary, Brother Martin flipping rib eye for cheesesteaks in Kansas City. Concourse might be. I will see if they're keeping him that busy. Johnny L, woo! Hey, gotta love the woos. JK, morning, Mr. Medley. Much respect. Miles Margaret, hi, Coach Rock, Hookadoo, Mary Smith. Happy September. September is here, ain't it? Mary Smith, the media on that hype train on the Packers, but to my knowledge, no one man wins games by himself. No. And Parsons, hey, is he going to be 100%? No. Is he going to be great against the run? We'll see. We'll see what kind of impact he does make. Hookadoo, Mr. Hassing, glad to have you in the Lions den today to bring your grit. Concur. Same old hoop just was heated. Grant Stewart, captain, didn't see that coming. Me neither, man. He did something to impress his teammates. We can probably all agree with that. Coach Rock, Z would teach our rookie defensive end Hassanin the ropes in the NFL. Bring him in. We'll see if they do. Dale, Coach Dan, what are your keys to victory? Maybe that will come later in the week. So I'm all good, my friend. Yes, later in the week for 100%, my friend. Good to see you, Dale. General Brown, talk about somebody I haven't seen in the chat in a while. Man, good to see you, friend. An OG for the chat. So the Packers just threw money away knowing they were getting an injured player? Wow. That's my big question with it, man. There's no way they didn't know this when they did their physical prior to the trade. For those who don't know, just about every professional sports franchise, league, or whatever you want to say, you make a trade, the acquiring team, they get to have their doctors do a full physical on that player. And they've got to say, yeah, they're good to go. The fact that this came up, 48 hours after they acquired him, maybe it was 72 hours, whatever, recently after acquiring him, I mean, they must have felt pretty good about the back injury to say, yeah, go ahead and, push the deal forward. Otherwise, I don't see why you would do this. The back is like a knee, man. It's hard to play football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, any sport without your back. The Rebel, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point, woo! Mary Smith, good morning, Miles Bar, Southwest, Duke Crew, woo! And go Lions, I like the way you're thinking. Rebel, what's the word on Big Z? Now you know. Coach Rock, September is good football weather, so bring it on. Hey, football is here, and we get to play in Green Bay in good weather. So, Southwest Lions 30, Green Bay 13, we'll go with that. Central Scrutinizer, hey, good to see you, man. It's been a hot second. Good morning, Duke Crew. Green Bay, here we come. Yes, we are. Later this week, we'll be heading on over there. Hoodoo, ladies and gentlemen, live and in color, it's Miles Marger from the Great White North. It might be. Earl, good morning, Duke Crew. Good to see you as always, Earl. Dre Day Gibbs will have 150 total yards, and Monty will have another 80 yards rushing. Solid victory for Lions Sunday. I like the way you're thinking. Johnny L, Detroit Lions, let's get this done, baby. Like indeed. JK, still sleepy, drank a lot. All right. Well, hey, I'm glad he had a good time. Gary, morning, Queen Mary. Queen Mary is in the building. Art, I think the pressure is on the Packers for this game because of signing Parsons and all the stories around it. A lot to live up to. Yeah, you're right. If they don't make the playoffs this year and they spent both first rounders, man, Dallas has got to be loving that. Michael, exactly, Mary Smith. There is no I in team. Not sure why. Thinking one guy that's hurt will make a difference for any team. Question mark. Laughing out loud. We'll find out. Central Scrutinizer, hit that thumbs. Yes, if you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. JK, might doze off a bit. Hey, get some rest, my friend. Mary, Carrie, good morning. Cynthia, good morning. All exclamation point. Hookadoo. After last year having Hutch back and the possibility of having Z opposite of him is a big deal. Carlos, all right, with an exclamation point. Central Scrutinizer Parsons, 14, 15, I see L4, L5 vertebrae. How low can he go? We will find out. He may have to bend a little bit more than he wants to. JK, let go of my Tooties waffle. There you go. Hookadoo. Carrie. I thought I felt your grit today. Oh, yeah. All right. Hookadoo. All right. Yeah, we just got that one twice. Okay. Let's see, Gary, no doubt. Hookadoo. Woo! Jacob, I believe the problem was the way he discarded him and cut him out of his bonus. I'll be a stretch or say you can play in the game. The middle. We'll find out what that happens with Za'Darius Smith. I get why they cut him for salary cap reasoning. Whether or not he'll want to resign here, we'll wait and see. All right, JK, Big Z stimulus this morning might be. Phil, good morning. Back at you, Phil. Check. My instinct says that Z isn't coming back because he took the cut personally. And if you listen to him talking about Green Bay and Minnesota last year, he holds grudges. All right, Johnny L. Get it after him, Hookadoo. Mary Smith, Cynthia, to me, queen from another queen. All right, queen one, queen to the next. Don Burr, Stewart is basically filling in for Reeves, as a captain. Might be accurate. Coach Rock, Stewart getting elected a captain tells you something about his locker room presence. Woo! I'll take that. Cynthia, Mary, good morning. Exclamation point. Good point. Art, Stewart earned that captain spot. Hey, I would think, your teammates are the ones who do these votes to make you a captain or not. So he did something to impress. JK, founding fathers, leaders, it looks okay. The rebel, good get him Hutch. All right, good get him Hutch indeed. Carrie, good morning, everyone. Let's go Lions. Let's talk about somebody I haven't seen in a hot minute. Good to see you, Carrie. Carrie, Don Burr, you got that right. Terrence, good morning, Duke Crew. Man, talk about somebody we haven't seen in a live show in a while. Always good to see you, Terrence. Hopefully you're having a phenomenal day. JK, I didn't drink CPD. All right, Central Scrutinizer is number 5. Wide open, both sides. Woo, okay. Jacob, Morgan is one of the original architects of the offense, isn't he? Yes, yeah. John Morton is. He is. The Rebel, great pick. Like the captains, exclamation point. Oh, yeah, the captains are here. Dennis, good morning. Go Lions. Back at you, Dennis. Jacob, Morton. Yeah, I figured out where you're going with that, man. I got you back. Let's see, Coach Rock, are you kidding me? 5, what a joke. I could do the job and willy-nilly this prediction. All right. Bo Monty is number 5. Number 5 is alive. Miles Marker, anyone doing an ESPN Pick'ems group for Lions Talk Live this year? Anthony sent me a link for basically a fantasy football league. I'll see if I can get it on tomorrow's show. JK Media still has Lions crappy. It happens. Coach Rock Decker last year as a starter? Might be. We'll find out. Only one way to know. Gary, hit that like, please. Hit the like and subscribe. Johnny L, skip the media. We'll skip them. Well, Marks, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Woo! And same to you. Jacob, I get it. We got to roll with what we got, or we're not going to have anything left in the tank as far as camp next season. Yeah, we're going to roll it all over. I think we'll Scooby-Doo the numbers a little bit. We'll be fine come next year. Let's see, Trina and Christina, good morning to everyone. Everyone have a safe and blessed Tuesday. Woo! I concur. Back at you, and thank you for being here. JK, Johnny, agreed, Johnny. Avery T, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, I just hope they don't overuse Hutchinson like they did before. We'll see what they have in store with him, but man, good to see you. It's been a hot second. Well, made a live show. Woo! And we'll back at you, Mo. Thanks for being here. DM5, I have Lions scoring at least 4 TDs against Packers. Let's make it 40 TDs. We have the media as something for us to all laugh at. Hey, there you go with an exclamation point. Cynthia, Mary, thank you. Carrie, morning, Trina, and Christina. DM5, Gibbs, Monty, JMO, St. Brown score. I like that. Let's see, Mary, Walt Marks, welcome to Lions Talk Live. 100% there. Johnny L, yes, sir, Hookadoo. Rock, that's true, Hookadoo, as usual, laughing away. Pierce Golf was concussed when that happened. He did have a concussion, I think, in the Washington game. JK, Fish Tank Media, let's see, Pierce. If Z was coming back, I think it would have happened already. Might be very accurate with that. Mary, yes, Hookadoo, you hit it on the nail. Hookadoo, Pierce and Ben overlapped after the hit. That's a pretty big tell. Might be a very big tell. DM5, I hope he comes back. Me too. Pierce, Hookadoo, BDI, Benedict did it. Ooh, there you go, new one. JK, Jesus, come back before the Z. All right, we'll go with that. JK. JDC, go Lions, go Tigers. Jacob, As this defense holds up with the winning the Super Bowl point blank. Yeah, I think if the defense holds up, we will win the Super Bowl, like your bold predictions suggest. Bill Ball, what do you got? Why is it important for him to join after the first game? Just because per the NFLPA bargaining agreement, if you sign before game one, you have a lot more guarantees in your contract. You sign after game one, respective NFL teams can eliminate the vast majority of those guarantees. Southwest Smith coming back. Cash down knows what she's doing. That's what I'm thinking too, my friend. JK, we'll go with that. Skulls. Coach Rock, is Pierce giving some love to Davenport now with the new BDI? Ooh, inquiring minds want to know. Pierce, Mary, Rock, don't get nasty now. All right, Dre Day. The Brit with grit said Lions lose week 1. We'll find out what happens. Mary Smith, Southwest agreed. DM5, what's BDI? Now, you know, Johnny L, by the way, there won't many kneecaps left. There aren't many kneecaps left at all. Pierce, DM5 TV, Benedict did it. Shake him. If the defense holds up, we're going to win the Super Bowl point blank. I think so. Brent, less guaranteed money after game 1. Yes, you're correct with that, Brent. Hookadoo, hi, Jen. JK, Parsons, $188 million. His mom officially retired Friday. Good for her, man. Good for her. Hey, that's the nice part of it. Dennis, I'm pretty sure Cash Dow was in Jacksonville for the concert. Hopefully Big Z doesn't come because Jags and Tampa and Alt could use Z. That might be. DM5, Pierce Sargent, thanks. Kerry, Parsons needs the money for surgery. He might need surgery. Coach Rock, I give Davenport a break for his violent game in the trenches. There you go. Pat, Z will be back after the first game. It has something to do with the contract. I said a few weeks ago, Smash Mouth Football coming Sunday, 4:30. Let's go Lions. We'll get going 100%. Bill Ball, L4, L5, only important if you want your legs to work correctly from my own experience anyways. Hey, he probably does want those as a linebacker or end or whatever he is now. Johnny L, BDI at Pierce. Pierce, Johnny, LBDI, JK, Davenport is unbreakable. Let's hope that's accurate. Egan, only 1 sack in 4 playoff games for Parsons. Was surprised to see that stat with the contract he got. Yes, I get his postseason has not been kind statistically. DM5, L4, L5, no joke. Aesthetic and all that. It is. Yeah, you're going to feel that throughout your back, your body, and maybe other parts. Johnny L, laughing out loud. Pierce, Hookadoo, BD, I hope you fall flat on your face, Benedict! Exclamation point. I'm down with that. John Brown. Turns out Parsons must be a Lions fans fleecing the Packers like that. I'm down with that. Fleece them all you can. Keep them down. Coach Rock, why would you trade 2 first-round picks for an iffy player and Clark, too? Wow, that what were they thinking? Yeah, they had to have known. Their representation, their support staff, medical trainers, had to have known about this. It's a big question. Why would you go with that trade if you thought there was anything to do going on with that back? Mary Smith, yeah, Parsons play. He's only going to be on a lot of drugs. Not good. Yeah, and those drugs, they start wearing off pretty quick. I mean, he'll get through the first quarter, but my guess is if the Lions are as physical as we all anticipate they're going to be in the run game, he's got to help defend that. Yeah, before halftime, he's going to be feeling it. Halftime, they're going to have to give him another injection probably. And that's just not good. From a humanitarian standpoint, that's not good because he may end up doing even more damage than that. And I don't want that for anybody, man, even though he's an opposing team. I mean, I want him out for the game, but I don't want him out for his life. Bill, Green Bay must have signed off on it. I agree with that. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them. There you go. Hey, gotta love that movie, man. Dodgeball. Johnny Gas Sports, good morning. Dan the Duke Crew, exclamation point. Happy Tuesday. Same to you, Gas, man. Terrence, I know KD from back in the day. You might be overthinking it. Yeah, there you go. Could be. Who knows, man? I don't know. Gary, sounds familiar like a San Francisco trade. Ooh, Gary's laughing about that. Hookadoo, Mary, he's going to be skipping through a field of flowers on drugs. Might be accurate. The Rebel, Cash Doll, leaking the tea. Ooh, see, Coach Rock, wouldn't want an epidermal to play football. Could lead to permanent damage without being able to feel your spine. Yeah, and, again, selfishly, as a Lions fan, do I want them to miss any time we play them? Yes. As a person, though, man, I don't want somebody going through that because like you guys already know, that can lead to some real long-term life stuff, and that's just not good, man. Let's see, JK, the return of the King Z part, we'll see. Black Jared Jones, hit that like button, hit the like and subscribe, and thank you very much. Mary Smith, Johnny Gaz, good morning. Cynthia, wearing a blue jersey could be just the costume. Might be. The Rebel, wow. Is the back an issue for Micah now? Question mark. It does sound like it is. Johnny Gaz, hi, Mary. Michael, Jerry Jones, like him or not, and being in his 80s, seen the opportunity to unload a boatload of money and keeping Parsons. Yes, he did get rid of all that paycheck, and maybe he got something for a damaged player. James, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Back at you, James. Mary, he did it for tax purposes. Might be true. Might be very true. Jacob, not too worried about Parsons. He has a history of being injured and doesn't play every game. No, let alone every snap. James, good morning, Mary. Bill, certainly helps a lot to not get worse. It doesn't get better. No, once the tread comes off the tire, it doesn't come back. Mary, James Allen, good morning. Avery T. Hope Parsons won't get those superpowers from those shots he in his back like Blonsky did in the Hulk movie. All right, we'll check it out. Let's see, Michael. Probably true. Mary Smith, question mark, laughing out loud. Henry Moore, once that back becomes an issue, there is no coming back without surgery. Correct. Even with the surgery, is it going to be the same? Probably not. Jacob, he's not going to be effective because he's not going to play that much because he takes off for injuries every year. Might be. Mary Smith, Avery, now that's funny. Michigan Panther Pride, good morning, everyone. Busy morning, but listening all morning. Hey, listen on in, my friend. Thank you for always being here, Lauren. Coach Rock, taking my wife to work now. We'll listen in after I get back. Grit to all. Hey, have a good time on the ride. Look at you. I need back surgery, but I hear it tends to make things worse. That I don't know, thankfully. Jacob, we got to stop third down conversion. Yeah, if we can stop them from getting first downs, they're going to have a hard time scoring. Hassani Madley, I said before, Mr. General Manager Holmes knows what he's doing. I think Z will sign after this week of the season because of for 1 year. 1 year deal, probably. I had the shot in my back, Dan. You're absolutely right. They don't work. No, I mean, it lasts for a little bit, just like when you get the injections in the knees or whatever. You know, coaching, you see people do all sorts of stuff to play, especially in big games. But week 1 of the regular season, if that back's already a problem for Parsons, that's going to get worse and worse throughout the year. There's you give him a month off. He'll feel better until he gets back on the field for a week or two. Avery T, if Smith comes back, that means someone else will get waived. Somebody would be cut. You got to make a roster spot for him for sure. James, I heard from NFL Network yesterday that Micah Parsons' back is bothering him and that he's a 50-50 at best. Yeah, you have some different reports, James. Shefty or whatever you want to call him at ESPN said he was, like you were saying, 50-50 to play. And then there was somebody else from NFL Network said, Parsons is going to play, but yes, he's going to be a little hurt for the game. I'd say Kurt say, what up, though, Duke Crew? Exclamation point, I'm out running errands. Hey, running fast, getting those steps in, my friend. Kerry, game 1, pressure, rotation, shred, devour. I like it. Dave, what do you got? Hookadoo, apparently back surgery isn't nearly as risky as it used to be, but I'm still concerned to avoid it for nearly 2 decades at this point. Yeah, like most surgeries, they get better the more the reps the surgeons get at them. Same time, it's like all surgeries. There's always a risk. Mary Smith, Kerry, yes, Dre Day. Carlos has been saying what I've been saying for weeks about Z. I agree with that. I agree with it fully. Michigan Panther Pride, Kurt, good morning, boss. And he's bossing up and balling out. Singing and friends, good morning, Captain Dan and Duke Crew. Back at you. Okay, dude. Professor Steele, glad to see you. JK, Cash Down is a side piece. That's all. All right. Christian, what do you got? Good morning, Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Day. I've had a few epidurals in my day, and it even kind of helped for almost 3 months since. The other 2, no help whatsoever. Okay, good to know. JK, greetings, salutations, coach and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Michael, going to be paper bag shortage in the North Division after facing the Lions this season. Hey, maybe we'll beat them down so bad in Green Bay they'll want and buy up all the paper bags. The Rebel Cash Down Zadarius know how to work PR. Probably very accurate there. The Rebel, we can't sleep on Green Bay. No, I don't think you can sleep on anybody in the division. I think everybody in the division is a threat. And I don't think the Lions really have the luxury of this year's schedule to play bad or play down to a bad team. And I do think the Green Bay Packers are not a bad team at all. I want to be clear on that. Mr. Rail 313, man, talk about somebody I haven't seen it. Hot say it. Will Green Bay be the favorite if they lose Sunday? Probably not. At that point, Detroit probably returns across the nation to the favorite team in the NFC North. Let's see, Hookadoo. I know, Day, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I concur. Johnny L, get those kneecaps. Bite them all, my friend. Dre Day. Brad said there was no conversation between him and Z. Maybe this is Z reaching out without reaching out. Yes, correct with that. JC, hey, Coach, speculating on how you are past an NFL fiscal with a bag issue. Man, that's a great question. Question mark. Would you give Green Bay an out on this contract? without knowing all the verbiage in the contract, I doubt if there's an out at this point. They signed it. Their own, physicians passed him. It's just, whatever, it's been 72 hours since the trade, and he's, talking about having to take a shot in that back because the L4 and L5 are that bad. There's a lot of questions to be had, and I won't be surprised if some of that training staff, support staff, medical, gets fired because of it. And I don't wish on anybody. The Rebel, we have a pretty good pass rusher as well. Word is we do. Game 5, Lions after 2 division games, 0-2, 1-1, or 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0. The Rebel, come on, Duke Crew, smash all the buttons. If you would, please, that would be great. Hookadoo, Day, it's like they did nothing at all. Maybe true. Johnny L, smoke. All right, we're smoking. Dennis, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, and same to you, Dennis. Michigan Panther Brian, Dan O'Damas this week. Ooh, could be something you want to pay attention to. Keep your notifications on. Johnny, Hookadoo, Johnny L laughing. JDC, born and bred to rip and shred. Go Lions. I like it indeed. JK, yay. Let's see. Trey, what do you got? Your just shows you how desperate the Packers are to keep up with Lions. Parsons looks like desperation now. I felt like with what they gave up, especially when they threw in Clark, I was like, man, it seems like a lot for Parsons. And not that Parsons isn't a phenomenal athlete, but I think he's very one-dimensional. I mean, I would say 78% of his value is in pass rush downs. What do the Lions like to do a lot of? They like to run the ball. So how effective is he going to be the vast majority of the games against Detroit? Now, that may be different with other teams, but at least against the Detroit Lions. Johnny, what's good, JDC? We'll find out. Day, Hookadoo, yeah, bring back on it. The one epidural that seemed to help a little was probably a temporary placebo effect. Could be. Yeah, the mental aspect of things. Trey Day, rooting for Jerry Jones to win the trade. You might get that wish. Trey, what do you got? Packers, desperation equals foolishness. Parsons acquisition might be true. Robert, I don't get how we are paying for something insane. Yeah, just this will be the last year of the carryover effect from when he was waived from the team. They did originally think they were getting basically all the money off the books, but the NFLPA said otherwise. Look at Johnny L. My doctor asked me if I wanted smoke for back. We'll find out. Trey, what do you got? Lions fan base have Z fatigue? I think a lot of us do, man. 100% with that. No doubt about that. Dale, will Stewart be our kick returner? Man, the only way we're going to know is see what happens on Sunday. It's a fair question, though, Dale. Eric, hey, man, good to see you, man. It's been a hot minute. Good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Back at you. How you doing today, my friend? Until then, okay, which is it? Question mark. Zadarius has publicly said he wants to come back to Detroit and play for Detroit, but also he is mad and holds a grudge. Question mark. Please make up your minds. Maybe a little bit of both. How about that? But he's a good businessman, I'm guessing. The Rebel MCDC better have them boys fired up for Green Bay? Question mark. Is it the first game too? Question mark. Oh, yeah. First games are different. It's sort of like your first playoff game. There's a lot more energy from both teams, both sidelines going into it. Just, hope springs eternal. Kerry, I want Lovett for kick return. You might get him. Let's see, JK, divisional round, first 2 games. There you go. Hookadoo. Day, I went back to work not even a week later, and I was like they did anything at all. Doesn't help. I'm a dock worker loading semis. Yeah, excuse me, to your point, yeah, it doesn't hold long-standing relief, especially, I think, in somebody like your profession, and then you look at something like a professional football player, man, that stuff's going to wear off super fast. Johnny L, game over for sure. Great Lakes, Dan O'Damas returns, probably accurate this week with an exclamation point. Trey, Lions 31, Green Bay 20. Man, are they going to score that much? We'll find out. Jimmy, good morning, coach, and back at you, Jimmy. Great Lakes, $126 million of guarantees with a back injury. Hey, good work when you can find it. The Rebel, why don't people understand that Zeke could satisfy the Lions fan, complete the team at the same time? Might be true. We'll see if he does return. Johnny L, that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I did at work there at Hookadoo. Great Lakes, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on the internet. Yeah, I'd go with that. Taylor, what do you got? The Lions are still way better than the Packers. I think so, too. Although, hey, Love has himself a game. If you let Love have a good game, that changes everything. Johnny L, I'm a lawyer. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Another, Tesla looks better than Golden. Might be. Hookadoo, seriously, Johnny L, rode away 20 years and Esther 10 years. I'll go with that. Christian, let's see. No one is focusing on how much of a game record Davenport is since he was injured last year. Woo! Yeah, he could fly under the radar and really help upset a few teams. Coach Tiny K, Coach and Duke Crew, hey, have a good one. Have a good day. Back at you, Coach. Hope all's well with the family. Southwest defense ends require serious flexibility. Amazing. They would pay him if that is true. Yes, if that back is really a thing, I'm surprised the deal went through. Well, hit the like button for Dan and the new crew. Woo! Hit the like and subscribe. Trey, I think Packers show desperation in the straight. I concur. Laying it down on 99 says Great Lakes to stay in Detroit. Let's see if he can stay in Detroit. Brian, good morning, everyone. So glad we didn't trade for Parsons. Yeah, I think at this point, all Lions fans would be. Day back when I got my epidurals, you could only get 3 in 1 year period, usually last a month apart, at least a month apart. That was like 20 years ago, though, so things may have changed since then. Yeah, I just don't know enough about it to give any kind of commentary on it. Johnny L. Green Bay and the Bears will be smothered by us. I like the way you're thinking. You got Great Lakes. It would be crazy for Smith not to have signed with anyone at this point if he's really playing the season. He's coming back. I haven't heard any serious news of other teams going after him. We'll find out. I know some teams have inquired, but that's all I know. What they used to do for Johnny L, put a blanket over fire and put it out. We'll find out. Trey, Green Bay, desperation to catch up the Lions. Yes, indeed. Did anyone sign Broderick Martin? He's on the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad, the Great Lakes. David, will Parsons even play 10 games this year? Question mark. Meanwhile, the run-stopping defensive tackle who's played every game for the last 4 years, now in Dallas, and the Packers don't have 2 first-round picks. I agree. It's a real head-scratcher. Benjamin, cash down, really? Yikes! Exclamation point. I'm down with that. JK laughing. Big Belly Lou, what do you got? Green Bay Packers going down week 1. Let's go Lions. I like it. I like it the way you're thinking indeed. Shaft, I blew out 15 S1 in 99 instant relief and have not had an issue since. Having it young, are you able to bounce back a lot easier? Yeah, the younger you are, probably the easier it is to bounce on back. Trey, even if Z is in such demand, don't you think he would be? I've already signed with another team, question mark. Maybe it's about the money. It could be about the money. Maybe he's asking for an unreasonable amount. Ogadoo, we know why Dallas traded him. Dallas has to know this. Yes, I think they did know it. Phil, over under on Daniel Adamas towel this year. I say the tan one. We'll find out which one Daniel Adamas selects. Could be a random one. Kerry, game 2 is going to be something special for all the fans to see. I've waited this long since Bendover announced his departure. This will be in the equalizer. Yeah, get through the first game, and man, we're all going to be focused on that second one. JDC, happy trails. Go Lions victory. Back at you, Henry Moore. To pass rush, he has to get by our O-line. He'll get backwards and strain the back more. Yeah, if somebody gets leverage on him, gets the hands on the shoulder pads, push him back, yeah, that could really inflame the back. Okay, dude, Green Bay should sue Jerry. I think that window's passed for him. Bo, happy trails, dude. Crew, all done and dusted for another summer. See you in the fall. We'll see you in the fall, my friend. Keys, man, another person I haven't seen in a hot second. Laughing alone. I haven't been in this chat since January. Welcome on back, my friend. Hey, it is football season. DM5, Z fatigue because of Brand Holmes. Johnny L, peace out. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Go Lions. We'll see you then. Trey, maybe Z is waiting until the Lions absolutely need him because of injuries to who knows? Hey, more. Have a blessed day and glorious week, everybody. Go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. JK, baby GZs. All right. Hookadoo, happy trails, dude. Crew, one pride worldwide. May the grip be with you and also with you. Mary Smith, Hookadoo, they can hire Johnny L. DM5, Hutch 4 sacks, Davenport 2 sacks. Go Lions. That would be a heck of a strong performance in week 1. Mary, everyone have a blessed day. Same with you, Mary. Be great out there. Hookadoo, Johnny L., you up for another case because me and Merritt got a case lined up for you? Oh, yeah, I'm down with that. Great Lakes, I know he has a bad stigma on him, but I'm really pulling for Davenport. Me too, man. Me too. Gary, have a great Tuesday. Stay safe. Go Tigers. Go Wolverines. Go Lions. Great Lakes, we know Smith isn't going to Green Bay for sure. Trey, James Houston on the starting 53 for Dallas. Let that sink in. He is, man. He made it. Miles Meyer. Lions and the world. Lions versus the world. How about that? Christian, Broderick Martin is a bum. Might be true. All right, guys, if there is breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as soon as possible. Before you check it out, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit all the buttons. Be a good human being. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. And we'll see you all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.